Hello, Sacred Heart family. Merry Christmas and welcome to our Christmas Eve prayer service. I'd like to extend a welcome to our alumni, our parents, our students, and all of our Sacred Heart friends. Enjoy. My guess is that most of you would agree that it is hard to imagine a more difficult time in life than this past year, adapting to life amidst a pandemic and political division. It has been a year of uncertainty, a year of isolation, a year of conflict, and a year of fear. I can't help but think that these same things, in some form or another, existed the year of Jesus' birth. And in poverty and complete vulnerability, Jesus was born in a manger to a carpenter and a young girl who trusted in God's plan. And as I imagine the manger scene, I wonder how Joseph and Mary had the courage and strength they needed to survive and move forward without knowing from one day to the next what was to come. I imagine that they stepped forward in hope. Christmas is a season of hope, and it is in hope that I pray for each of you. For unto us is born this day in the city of David, our Savior, who is Christ the Lord.
Good evening. My name is Carolyn Kraus, and I am the Alumni and Alumni Director here at Sacred Heart. A reading from the book of the prophet Isaiah. The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. Upon those who dwelt in the land of gloom, a light has shone. You have brought them abundant joy and great rejoicing, as they rejoice before you, as at the harvest, as people make merry when dividing spoils. For the yoke that burdened them, and the pole on their shoulder, and the rod of their taskmaster, you have smashed as on the day of Midian. For every boot that tramped in battle, every cloak rolled in blood, will be burned as fuel for flames. For a child is born to us, a son is given us. Upon his shoulder dominion rests. They name him Wonder Counselor, God Hero, Father Forever, Prince of Peace. His dominion is vast and forever peaceful from David's throne and over his kingdom, which he confirms and sustains by judgment and justice, both now and forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will do this. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
Welcome. It's wonderful to be with you. My name is Father Gilbert Singera. I'm a Jesuit at the University of Detroit Mercy and teach in the School of Architecture and oversee the Jesuit community there. This Christmas time finds us in a rather odd situation between the pandemic and the racial injustices that we're growing more aware of, the political scene that always seems to be giving strife. And in the midst of that, we get these wonderful readings. The reading that you heard earlier in the session is from the prophet Isaiah. And that early part of the book of Isaiah is specifically about the Israelites who are now enslaved by the Assyrians. And they find themselves in a similar situation. They are reminded constantly of the major exodus. You might recall when the Red Seas opened, the skies were literally rent open as well. We had plagues of locusts. We had major grand signs. And I think the Israelites are hoping for that. And I think in our own world today, we kind of hope for that. We kind of hope for that kind of strong warrior to come forth and defeat all that is evil. And Isaiah tells us, wait, the one who is coming will be Wonder Counselor, Prince of Peace. I wonder how that was heard by those early listeners. I listen to it now in the midst of the pandemic, and I kind of say, no, I really want a warrior right now. A shepherd, a good shepherd even, doesn't seem right. But that's not what Isaiah is promising. He recognizes he's the messenger of God, and God recognizes that what the people need is not to worry because of what's going on around them. It's to look for those small hopes, those small pieces of light, the small tunnels of light that get us through the dark times. Again, the Israelites are in a dark place. They realize that they are enslaved, and this has been occurring and repeatedly occurring to them, and they're starting to lose hope. But then Isaiah tells us God is sending the Wonder Counselor, the Prince of Peace. So don't give in to the anxiety. When one is in anxiety, they never make good decisions. I find myself in that kind of light. Even on normal times, at Christmas time, I anxiously shake presents to figure out what's the mystery behind that box. I find myself anxious of, did I remember everybody like I was supposed to? We all know what those anxieties are like, and they seem rather minute given what else we are in the midst of. But today we are reminded to turn towards our small hopes of light, and then we will see something grand. We'll see something grand. I don't know if you caught the Pope's opinion piece in the New York Times on Thanksgiving Day. He spoke beautifully about the doctors and nurses that cared for him when he was a young seminarian and they had to remove part of his lung. He mentions the care that these nurses gave, and sometimes the recognition that these healthcare professionals didn't realize the full impact they were giving. He quotes them saying, "They are the antibodies of the virus of indifference. They remind us that our lives are a gift, and we grow by giving ourselves, not preserving ourselves, but losing ourselves in service." Again, in these dark times, you might not find the skies rending open. You might not find the warrior that you hope for, but what you need to search for is that Prince of Peace. And you will find it because God has always promised to be with God's people. That's what keeps the Israelites moving forward. They experienced it in the Red Sea, and they knew that God would never walk away. So trust in the true presence of Christ that is with you, and in the family and friends that reveal the face of God in the midst of this trouble.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Natalie Cochran-Lanovich from the class of 2004, and it is my honor to be with you this Christmas Eve to sing Silent Night together. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so Christmas.
Oh, it's so good to see everybody. We hope that you're having a Merry Christmas. And we miss those who can't make it today.
Yes,
We
and,
love you.
and next year could we have 2 hugs? Because we are missing all of our hugs from the Academy of the Sacred Heart. But we wish you all a wonderful Christmas and be safe.
Merry Christmas, everyone.